We're not any different than the other individuals.
Dakota Rose Austin says the controversy at the spa seems to be just another example of what she says is an increase in anti-trans policies across the country.
As Latinos, as trans, as queer, as African American, the fear is turned now. If you've weaponized DEI and affirmative action and all these other things that were in benefit of everyone in America, and you've weaponized them against us, now I'm in fear.
Reddix can reveal that one of the trans activists demanding access to a female-only nude spa night in San Francisco is a registered sex offender. Dakota Austin, a convicted rapist, was portrayed by the media as a victim of discrimination. Oh my goodness. I'm assuming this is the full video. It says, "I love this woman. Trans activists deliberately went to a Korean spa in San Francisco and attempted to publicly shame staff for their sex-based policy. But she remained calm and collected, repeated the same logical point: a nude spa is segregated by sex, not fantasy, gender ideologies, or gender identities, to ensure the comfort and dignity of their patrons. This is how it's done." Just for a little bit more context, it says, "To be clear, a man and a woman who identifies as a trans man went into the men's section of the spa. Male patrons complained because a woman was in the men's side of the nude spa." So I'm assuming the trans activists, which are usually just entitled people that are angry with a cell phone, are upset because this spa is saying if you want to be on the nude male side, you have to have a penis, and if you're gonna go on the nude female side, you have to have a vagina, which to me makes a lot of sense. But let's go ahead and get right into the video and see what they're saying.
Have the female part, you go to the female side. If you have the male part, you go to the male side.
I'm not sure what you're meaning by parts.
As in like physical parts, as in like your.
You know what she means by parts. Yes. What are we talking about?
The woman genital still, you go to the woman's side. And if you have the male genital, a penis, you go to the male side.
Well, what about women who have penises and men who have vaginas?
You go to that side.
Segregate them?
We still go based on genital parts.
So you would put a man in the women's room?
So if they have the parts, yes.
That's not a man, though, necessarily.
Oh, brother.
You just go based off genitals. So you were with, you're assigned with the male has the genital part.
If you put a man in the women's room, you're going to have huge problems. You can't do that.
I love how this dude's trying to act like he's concerned about women's safety. But to me, this makes sense. If you're going to live in Silly World, imagine we're in Silly World in La La Land, right? Because that's what this is. That's what San Francisco is at this point. If you're a man and you cut your Johnson off and you start taking estrogen, then yeah, you could go in the woman's side. That's going to be the rule. Because by his logic, he's saying whatever somebody identifies as, they should be able to go into that bathroom. So by his own logic, he wouldn't be trying to protect women at all. Because a man could just slap on a wig and say, I'm a woman, and that person should just be allowed into the women's side. By his logic. By their logic, they're saying, no, you need to actually go through with the sex change. You got to prove it to me that you identify as a woman. And I think that makes sense. If you're going to live in Silly World, there at least has to be some law and order, right?
Male, they feel totally, if they still have, we're going to talk how it is. If they stub their vagina, they go on the female side, they feel totally comfortable. Because we go based on what they have, the genitals.
Yeah, but you have, I mean, if somebody is a man, they need to go in the men's room, just full stop.
If they don't have genital parts, we cannot let them go in.
You can't say that somebody's not a man based on what their parts are. If they're licensed and what they have said they are a man, you can't say that they're not allowed to go in a particular room.
That's our policy. So
is that where's that policy?
I've never actually seen
that. Yeah, let's see that.
So you have genitalia written into your policy? Can I see that, please?
It has to go, that's how we go based on.
That would need to be like in a policy for people to be aware of that, because I don't see that on your website. Is that
common sense?
Is that written somewhere that genitalia is part of your policy?
It's not written, but we still go based off the gender and if their genital parts.
That's literally not how anybody defines men and women, especially in San Francisco. If a man looks like a man, or if
and
they
that's the
define
problem.
themselves as a man,
well, also
then they
if
go
they
in
are
the men's
legally
room.
a man.
And that they are legally a man, sure.
You have a man on your driver's license?
So yeah, but we still go based on the parts.
Yeah, so this person is basically saying a better identifier for if you're a man or a woman is your driver's license. A better identifier than your genitals, is what it says on your driver's license, which you know in Silly World in San Francisco, you can just have it say anything you want on your driver's license. So
you have the female part, you go to the female side, and you have a male part, you go to the male side.
Okay. So, just so you're clear, that is anti-trans rhetoric. That is discriminatory anti-trans rhetoric.
And then put that, but that's what we go based on.
Okay, I'm just letting you know.
So next time when you guys record, you have to ask for my consent.
Not necessarily.
Yes,
no.
necessarily.
Yes, yep. And she could kick you out if you don't have her consent to record in a private location, like inside of the business. Now, if they were outside on the concrete on the street where you pay taxes for the street, then they can record without having to deal with anything. But yeah, if they're in her business, and I love the smile she giving right here. That's right. Kick them on out. Get them out of there. But yeah, if they're in the business, they have to ask for permission from her to record.
Okay, and we also have the right to refuse our service.
That's right.
I would never come back here, and I wouldn't ever tell anyone trans to come here because you are spouting anti-trans rhetoric.
And I've been coming here for 20 years, and I've never heard of anything so ridiculous as somebody come in and ask a man who is in the men's room whether or not they belong in there.
Our customers, a lot of customers are complaining, so we have to go.
Your customers, you should be educating them on what a man is and what a woman is, and it's none of their fucking business.
Imagine you go to the spa and you get educated on genitalia and sex and gender. You want to take a break from the world, so you pay $120 to go to a spa for an hour and a half, and they're sitting there trying to educate you on genitalia. Sir, nobody wants to live that way.
Somebody
It's unrealistic.
says they're a man, and you've got a man that's in the men's room, then it's none of their business. They don't have a right to complain.
You also don't have a right to judge people based on their based on their medical information. So just so you're clear, this conversation is starting now because he came up to me and asked me if I was transgender. So transgender status is a protected medical classification under HIPAA. So you don't actually have the right to go up to anyone and inquire if they are transgender. Furthermore, there are intersex people. Furthermore, there are intersex people that scientifically, medically do not fall into a binary gender, and you cannot tell that by looking at them. So
yeah, they do fall into a binary gender. Because the gender is one or the other. And usually if somebody's intersex, they're closer to one or the other. And it's still binary. Binary means two, man and female. So yeah, there's still, even they fall into a binary gender.
Is based on what someone tells you they are.
Well, a lot of customers came and told us they've seen that, so we have, as my job, women go this way, men go this way. And we go based on genitalia.
Okay, but just so we're clear, I am not a woman.
Okay, but
So you see the
I would never, ever, ever go into a woman's
excuse me, the state
locker room.
of California.
Okay, but we're going on the parts. So that's how we run our spa.
What you need to do is publish that policy because it is not fair to accost customers when they are here at a spa. You need to publish your policy on your website. So if you are going to segregate people by genitalia, you need to state that on your website. Does that make
You have
sense?
to be clear about who you want.
Yeah,
And who you
so
don't want.
if you have anti-trans rhetoric built into your policy, you need to state that so people are aware of that, right? You need to stand by your policy. You need to publish your policy. You can't just let people come here and be accosted by this bullshit.
Yeah,
Right?
that was pretty rude.
So you need to publish that, right? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Say who you want, and then the people you want will be here. And that is not going to be me as a cis man in the men's room anymore either, because this is anti-transgender policy. It's anti-transgender.
Yeah, no one cares, sir. Oh no, 1% of the population aren't gonna go to their spa. Oh no, women are gonna feel safe because 1% of the population decided they don't want to go to our spa because they're not gonna allow guys to go in the women's nude side of the spa. It's crazy.
Rhetoric.
No one cares.
It's completely unacceptable in this day and age, and completely unacceptable in San Francisco. Really anywhere, but specifically here.
And specifically at this moment in time when transgender people are literally being eradicated out of legal existence, you guys should
Eradicated out of legal existence. Eradicated out of legal existence. That's the terminology this person decided to use. It's always that victim. We're being eradicated. Everyone's being killed legally, though. It's just legally. It's all legal.
really be ashamed of
Eradicated
yourselves.
legally.
This is shameful behavior.
Have a great night.
I don't see anything wrong with that. The policy seems pretty cut and dry to me. I don't understand why everybody's all upset. Several dozen people showed up Monday to protest outside Imperial Day Spa to demand that the city take action. Taped to the spa window was a notice of inclusive new policy. Guests may use facilities that correspond to their gender identity in accordance with California law. California is just losing it. You guys are paying extremely high taxes, and for what? For what? To not even be able to run your own business the way you want to run it without just getting attacked by the state. This is crazy. Here's more here. Trans activist Breath Memorier. What kind of names are these? They're just making the Breath Memorier is bragging on social media about forcing Imperial Spa to change their policy. This is the second new spa in San Francisco to have been targeted by trans activists this month in an organized attack on businesses which provide services.
Breath Memorier came down to Imperial Spa, did some artwork on the ground, met a whole bunch of good people.
This is
put
madness.
Things together. Hopefully a lot of these are going to come out to Banya and support us out there. We've got plenty of support. City's activated. Tell everybody we ain't stopping.
Trans activists are giving them 1-star reviews on Google, but fortunately there haven't been very many yet, and they still have a high rating. Yeah, it's interesting to see who might win in this this oppression Olympics here, because you got a Korean business that was probably started by a first or second generation Korean family, and it's a spa. And then you have the trans activists saying that they're the ones that are being oppressed even more. And so now they're using the power of the state and these well-funded LGBTQ programs in California to go after this spa that was probably created by some people that came here, that migrated here. Hopefully legally, but I'm sure they migrated here. So it's going to be interesting to see who wins this oppression Olympics. I mean, I feel bad for them, but you're in California. At some point, we, from the outside looking in, got to stop feeling bad for these people, because this is the stuff that they vote for. I don't understand why you're in California anymore. I would be getting out of California. It's not a safe place to start a business. You'll end up walking down the street and shot and stabbed by a homeless person that might be carrying some type of disease that we haven't seen before. Like, it's insane in California. They have issues with the homeless population, and it's completely just trashed out there. But they're still they're still worried about gender identity and attacking small businesses for not abiding by their gender identity laws, which are insane. But yeah, guys, I guess that's the full story. I'll let you guys know if anything else pops up, but it looks like the trans activists are upset because this spa stood their ground and said, no, we're not going to allow a man to go on the woman's side of the nude spa, and we're not going to allow a woman to go on the male side of the nude spa. Till next time.